Oh, Barry. All right. Hey, it looks like the content of this meeting is being sent to a third party live. That must mean we're on Facebook, which is great. And it does. It says we're on Facebook. And we're live on Facebook. Let's see. Um, Rob, check that. Check the whiteboard because I can't seem to find the settings.
What am I checking?
Make sure that the whiteboards are off.
Okay, okay. Okay, so we're live. So let's quit looking like we're.
All right. Well, guys, welcome to what I think is going to be rather interesting because I'm playing around with some things with EZRGB, and we learned something and that many people weren't really expecting to come up with. And there's been a number of updates to EZRGB, and we do sequencing. Our sequencing is a lot of our sequencing is over there. Not all of it is over there. But in what I'll bring this up over here too. This is EZRGB, and so what I wanted to do was I wanted to show you if you didn't know that EZRGB has both the xLights around the world sequences that are available. You can go to the sequences page here. I thought there was a link at the top of the page, but I might be wrong. But there is also a
You're not,
free sequence.
you're not sharing anything but your face.
Oh, I'm not. I am not
Hi,
sure.
Clyde.
All right.
We were reading it in your eyeballs.
Yeah, I was
We're
reading it. Here we
following
go.
along.
Am I on the
Hey, I see a screen.
wrong screen?
I don't see a screen.
Maybe that's the right one. There
I
we go.
shouldn't have 10 monitors. Okay, now scroll to the top. It should be right up there. Yeah, you got it says two free sequences, and then if you click
Yeah.
sequences,
Yeah. So in any event, once you set up, you do need to set up an EasyRGB account. So I do have an account. Well, this is my just login account, so I can test my layout and stuff. But what you can do is once you get a login, and you can go in and you can try doing some of the free sequences that we have, the xLights around the world sequences and the Jingle Bells, Batman smells.
yeah, so if you sort right there by price lowest to high, then you'll see the xLights around the world sequences. And then they'll show up as the first three cheapest.
Yeah, so price
Low to
load
high.
high,
There you
and they'll
go.
be right there.
Yep.
So in any event, we can. I'd rather pick. I don't know why I hit that, but I'd rather pick Batman Smells because it's nice and short, and we won't get any copyright strikes on YouTube. Um, so what you would do is if you have a layout set up, it will. If you don't have your layout or network um, already uploaded to EZRGB, you would have a red notification here. It would say, "Please upload your layout files." But I'm going to go ahead and we can go into our account. I've already got some of these in here. Um, and what I want to do is I want to show a couple little things that have been added here. So over on the left here, they have this link that says My Layout. And the nice thing about this is that these are some older files, 10.5 of 2024. So these are a couple weeks, back at the beginning of October, whenever I was messing around with something that they had finished. But what I wanted to show you is if you have an updated file or updated sequence layout or network and all that, you've made a bunch of changes because now we're in go time and you really wanted to add something in, you can re-upload your layout. If you've made all your changes and you've got your final layout, we can go ahead and upload this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to navigate to, it says show name. So let me give it a show name. I'll just put that on there. And it says, look, Tune 2 FM. So my Tune 2 is 100.3 FM. I'll click save. And now it's saying individual files and layout zip files. So if you have a package sequence, which we could actually do that real quick. Let's say this is our layout and we come in here and we do a new sequence. Let's just do animation done. And I'm going to do is I'm just going to save this sequence. I just put a timing mark in there. I'm going to save it. Um, I'm going to call this blank sequence. There we go. And next, what I want to do is I want to go tools and package sequence. Now, this is something that generally everybody that is in the community, generally you don't ever do this. If you sequence songs and you share them with other people, this is when you use this. But if you're going to use this function, then you can utilize it in this manner, this package sequence. I'm going to erase the XQZ file at the bottom. I'm going to change this to zip. Um, and although I think the website does handle it just fine, I'm going to hit layout zip and upload my
It
xLights
does. It
layouts.
handles the zip file and the
Okay,
XSQ or whatever stupid
good
thing.
deal. Good deal. So if I go in
It's not a good deal. It's stupid.
webinar, customize. Here we go. Here's our blank sequence. I'll go ahead and click on that. Now it's uploading the xLights zip. And now what it's done is it's taken my RGB effects and my network file. Now the layout is very basic. There's nothing. There's one HD prop. There's 4 snowflakes, a couple window frames, and a door. Moving heads. Ooh, moving heads. And it also has this little matrix down here that we're going to call attune to. And then we have a star up here, and we have a mega tree. Now, notice the star is not a star. It's actually a polyline that I drew because some people do some strange things sometimes when they're creating their layout, and whether they know it or not, they maybe they don't know that for their star they use the star model. And if you're new to xLights, or if you got started with xLights at one point or another, and you were doing your initial setup, some people may have thought that when you look at a star, Coro star, that you push the pixels in a certain manner and then you created a custom model for it. But many people don't know exactly what they're doing when they're making some of these models. So if you make a special model that has that you can call it whatever you want. I just left it as polyline. But I want to show you some of these little features that have been added and some of the updates. And we may, who knows, because I'm messing with it, I may break it and they might find a couple more bugs that they can go fix, right? So just so you see where exactly what we have here. And I want to go ahead and click get sequences. And so with this, Rob, does this would as soon as that layout was uploaded, what's the next step? What goes on there? Are they
So when
re-rendering
it
all?
uploads the layout, it goes through and it fixes anything that it sees. It could be a discrepancy, whether your mega trees or your like the mini trees are out of order. So like rendering order matters, right? So maybe your mini trees go 1, 3, 4, 1, 2, So instead it goes back through and it goes, well, it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It should be the right way. Or let's say that your mini trees don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, and you actually put them out of order. So number 2 is the first on the left, and number 4 is next to it, and then 2, then 3, then 1. It'll go, well, I know this is the way that they numbered them, but really it should be 4, 3, 2, 1, because from left to right, that's numeric order. They just messed up when they were dragging them. That's all. So it does that. It goes through and it checks submodels, which is really cool. And any submodels that are broken, uh, it it either deletes them or fixes them. And what I mean by delete them is in xLights, it says like every time you change a model, it'll say merge this, merge this, merge this, merge this. So by the time you're done with it, your 25 pixel star has submodels merged in it from a PPD reef, from a Megatree, whatever, because it's just been merged so many times incorrectly. Well, when it goes on and it looks at it when you upload it, it says, hey, none of these have pixels even in the range. None of these submodels make sense. Get rid of them. And then it goes through and it fixes all of that when you upload your layout, just so it's ready for when you do your sequences, that the sequences that it's rendering and giving back to you are good, perfect, great, outstanding.
So when the file is uploaded, and like we were kind of talking about this before we started the meeting. When the file is uploaded, the new files are uploaded. All sequences are re-rendered. Is that correct?
Every time you upload, correct.
So if you've
So
made
if you bought 100 sequences out of the store and you went because Boss Goya said, "Hey, look at this new singing elf," and you're like, "Man, that's the hottest thing that I've seen since sliced bread. I got to go buy it." You buy it, add it to your layout. Now you have to do a batch render, right? Wrong. You add it to your layout, put it on a controller, upload it to EZRGB. EZRGB goes through and does all the mapping again and renders everything for you.
so hopefully, if you're right, then if I click view video, we should see a video of the new layout instead of my old house video. Okay, so it didn't exactly maybe it's still rendering, but this is the old layout. This is
Okay,
my
so go back. So go back to my layout and you uploaded, right? So the
right,
new time right there is right now, right?
right.
Okay, so go back to my sequences. And then they said that the time on here should change. Did it?
852, 12, 3,
Okay,
8.
so now it should be there.
So
Let's say
maybe it
that.
is there.
Maybe it's broken.
Ah, look, so this one was in 3D, I guess.
So something was pulled forwards or backwards. So that's what happens when it detects it in 3D. This is a perfect thing, though, because now you're going to go fix this. So what happens is their system, if you do 3D, it detects that because you pulled something, either you pushed or pulled something into the Z, so positive or not negative Z.
Oh, it would have been those moving heads.
Yeah, so somebody moved something. So now what you don't drag them, go to your, this is the easiest way. So go to your size and location, find your Z, and hit 0.
Oop.
Yeah, you have to have them unlocked to do it. That one's already unlocked.
Okay, so back here, we go back to Z
No, that's
right
Z.
there, 0.
Yep. So now see they're even with the rest of your display. Um, and then this will be one fix that takes it out of 3D now. So that's one good. The second one I'm going to show you is uh,
Now, why didn't it save it?
you're doing scale.
I did Z.
Yeah, maybe it's locked. Right click on it.
I thought I unlocked it. Oh,
No, maybe it was locked, unlocked.
there we go.
Okay.
Save.
Now another thing is, so get out of 3D now. Now right click, reset.
Go to reset. So
See
that's
how
the
this is
reset.
perfect now? When it renders, this is what you'll see. So now move out of the way, Clyde. Move like part of your layout out of the way. So now if yours looks like this when it renders, what you have to do, and there's tips and tricks on the guide page, but what you have to do is you have to move it back into view. So move it back in how like you want it, Clyde. And then you'd right click.
Okay, I like it right there. So
So you're
basically,
gonna
here
you're
let
gonna
me
right click.
let me put the star on the tree. There we go. And you know what? Just because I feel like I've got money to burn, let's put 150 pixels on the star.
Okay.
Right?
So now what we're gonna do is right click,
Right click.
and then you're going to click set current viewpoint as default. Yep. So
So
now when it goes to EZRGB, it knows this is the view that you want to see when it goes there, and this is what will be in the preview video.
and the same thing would be true if you have 3D. You can
Correct.
set you can get it to the point where you like it where it's centered,
Yep.
and this might be your 3D centered. Then you would come in here and you'd hit set current viewpoint as default. So we're not going to do that. I just want to set that up. What we'll do is we'll hit save on the sequence. We'll go tools, package sequence. And I'm going to name this blank sequence 2 because why not? And I think we did an XQZ file there. Let's go back to my layout. Okay, and let's re-upload the layout. We'll use the zip file. We'll upload the zip. Okay, it's looking for a zip, but let's go to all. And here is blank sequence .2. That's the XSQZ. We'll go ahead and click that. So we'll try it from this because we tried it with the zip file from the first method. And now you can see it's 8:58 p.m. So it's 8:58 p.m. here on the bottom right of my screen. And you can see that it's uploaded the RGB effects in the RGB networks file. The difference is going to be, let's see, my sequences. Now, if you remember earlier, you saw the video. It's probably still, it's going to take some time to render. This is in 3D. So when this gets completed, whenever the zip file is done render, or whenever the sequence is done rendering, it will produce the video. And it does take time to do this. Like even if you were doing it on your own after mapping, it still takes time for it to happen. So we'll go back to sequences. Let's see if it updated on that page here to 8. See, it's how it says 8:53 and we're at 8:59 here. So we're just going to have to wait just a moment. But while we're waiting, one of the things that I do want to mention is that there is a very excellent guides and help section that has a lot of questions answered. So Rob, we were talking about this earlier. Some of the fixes that they did were the Tune 2 signs, which we're actually going to address that tonight. We're going to talk about the Tune 2 signs. And let's see, how do I get my sequences? Where is the easy sequence tips and guides? Here we go. Easy sequence didn't light up.
Okay, so there's different things in here. So the one that you're probably looking for is the easy sequence didn't light up a certain prop. Is there anything I can do?
Right here.
Yeah. So these are things that you can inject into your layout that help EZRGB. Now, you don't have to do this. So don't say, oh, I'm bored and my layout looks phenomenal, so I'm going to go add all this stuff to my layout. What they said is they use this for support, right? So if you put arch, if you copy that code, the bracket T : arch bracket, and you put it into your description field, it lets them know that there was some arch out there that the system didn't detect and they need to troubleshoot it. So if you put this on a layout that works 100% and you're just bored and you're like, I'm going to go add this to everything, the only thing you're going to do is have them working on something that they really don't need to work on, or at least reviewing something that it just worked anyways. So really only use this if you have an arch that you 3D printed, we'll say, or you bowed a piece of metal and you put lights on it and it just didn't detect it. You can put arch on it and it'll automatically know then, hey, this is an arch for sure, and it'll fix it. But over time, when they upgrade things, it'll automatically fix it anyway, so then you won't need it anymore. So these are just kind of tips and things like that to help it along for unconventional things. I think Clyde's going to show you one example of that just so you can kind of see it.
So the goal here is I wanted to view the video because we have a Tune 2 sign and we have a star, and I want to make sure the star acts like a star, and I want to make sure that the Tune 2 sign turns into a Tune 2 sign. Boy, it still put it in 3D. Maybe wait, let me go back.
The time part didn't change.
Let me see. Sequences. Maybe I 901. So yeah, 90114. There we go. Look, there's the new layout. So that's the refresh of the layout. And I don't think, you know what? I just realized something. I'm not sharing with music sound here. New share and video share. There we go. So you can see here, it's sequencing on this little matrix. And you can see the Joker on there. There's the Riddler.
Two-Face wants to flip a coin and save this song tonight. Jingle bells, Batman's there.
So basically, it looks like everything mapped in pretty good. But it's doing some crazy stuff with the moving heads there, isn't it, Rob? So the problem is that it doesn't realize that it has moving heads in it, or it just threw some data at it, hoping that it would do something. And it might be that it recognizes the models, and it might not be. But if you had moving heads and they're doing these weird kind of flashing things, like they may have done in the past, we can kind of go in and do some manual work, but we can also go in and fix this tune to sign situation where this is being treated as a matrix, is not being treated as a tune to. So you first saw the first time we uploaded this, we uploaded it with without making that edit. So if we go back to this page here and see how this says treat as a tune to sign, and like what Rob
just
was
so
saying,
you know, Clyde, they didn't update to the Matrix Tune 2 yet.
oh, they're
That's
still working on the Matrix tune too.
correct.
Okay.
I was just figuring I'd tell you that before you update. Wait, assume you'd have to pick like
Are we talking like the stocking?
Mm-hmm.
So we would need the stocking then. That's
But
not a
it's
problem.
not the matrices though. It'd have to be.
Well, we'll bring it in. Import. Just give me a second. I'll find it. There we go. So here's the stocking. Well, is it going to work on this guy here?
Possibly.
We'll give it a shot. Possibly. Well, it's going to. He might be a little bit harder to get to work, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's go into description.
Mm-hmm.
And let's go right click here, copy, and go to tune to. And if not, to see, like, I hate to say this, sometimes like them seeing us use the end user using it, sometimes that will help them kind of see what's going on. But in any event, so we go to the description field down here. I have the model selection here. Oh, I got to put it on a controller too. Excuse me. Hold on a second.
Stand by.
Well, that wasn't put over there. That's okay. Maybe I need to.
It's on the controller.
Did it auto assign itself to it? It's possible it did.
That I couldn't tell you, but it's on a controller. It looks like there's some kind of warning on your controller too. You get some kind of overlap. The Tune 2's up there. It's on port 3. You got Tune 2 sign, you got singing stock.
Oh, so let's put it down here because it's two outputs.
Now you fixed it. Okay. That was your error.
Okay, so now, so we've gone out in our show and we tested this, right? But we'll figure. We'll see if we can get it going. If not, it's good. It's good to see that like this is what you can go in and try to do. So under the model selection, now that we have it addressed, we'll go into description and we'll paste in that coding that they have written on the website. And all we did was we copy and pasted that from here and put it in that description field. So you can go in if you have nondescript things. Let's say this is a star. Maybe it applied some effects to it, but it didn't apply the Megatree star effects. Maybe you want to come in here and you want to do the exact same thing and you want to grab the star code. And we can come over here and go into description, Control V, and we'll hit save.
So while you're here and you're doing this, another thing is moving heads aren't auto sequencing yet. I know that's something that they're hoping to get working. It's just not something that's hot on the front stove yet. But if you go to the moving head, so go back to the website. So let's just say you saw your moving heads doing something that keeps shining in your neighbor's bedroom window, right? So because they're not supposed to be working. So if you scroll up. Hold on. Okay, close that box you have so I can read down. Hold on, you're moving around too fast. How do I? Okay, so right there, one down from your mouse. Nope, I say one down, you go up. Go one more. Right there, click that one. Okay, so see the I skip? Put that on every one of the moving heads, and it will not apply any effects to the moving heads whatsoever then.
Oh, over here. So we'll go to the moving heads. And it may map the moving heads. If you have the exact same model, it would work. I think that might be. I don't even know if that would work, but possibly.
Yeah, but there's not moving heads in Batman Smells, are there?
I don't remember. That was July.
Go ahead and click save.
All right, I think that's all of them. Got them all? No, it didn't save it in that one. There we go. Yep, so they all have the skip in them. Okay. So let's go ahead and go back to the sequence. We'll save it. Oh, wait, we want to package this as tools. Package.
You don't have to package it.
Well, it's just easier because it's only one file to upload. Which is the truth. Oops. Let's see. Oop. Go back in here. My layout. Re-upload layout. Upload zip file. Upload xLights zip. So it might be interesting if they added more than one type of file here. I know it says, but that would, because most people aren't going to know to change that from zip from XSQZ to a zip file.
Why are they changing it from an XXQZ to a zip?
What I'm saying is like the programmers, whenever, because no, this is going to take a second, but if you re-upload your layout, it's going to the casual xLights user is going to not know that when you package a sequence that it's going to come out as a zip file or an XSQZ. It just knows that it's packaging it. That casual user doesn't know the background between.
The casual user is going to know how to package their sequence, and they're going to do the two files. When I use this system, I use the two files. I like it better.
Okay, so meanwhile, let's say that because that's going to take a few moments for it to render for that new sequence and to get the layout changes up in there and to render everything and to make the video.
Did you add information for your tune-to in there?
Whenever I first went to that page, it asked me what my tune-to number was.
You wrote it in there?
I typed it in initially.
Okay, perfect.
So I'm going to go here, sort from low to high again, and I'm just going to add another sequence because what the heck, we're going to get. No, we'll probably bleep out the audio or whatever, but we'll go ahead and add this to the cart, and we will view cart. Yeah, that's an expensive cart there. I was buying all kinds of stuff from EZRGB. I needed some extensions. Okay, so proceed to checkout. Oh, I didn't hit the checkbox. All right, so there. Now go get your sequences. So now I have another sequence. See this one, how this says it's not available yet. Please come back later. It's 9:14 p.m. The last render time was 9:01. So we have to wait. We're still waiting for it to do the render on the cloud and and create the video. And as soon as that's done, then we can show you. But where did I put the layout? That the one? No. I keep bringing that up. I don't need that. It's what happens when you have a lot of xLights stuff open. Okay,
What
so
happens when you have more monitors than you need?
so you said did I go in here and add the tune to it? So that's I did put the tune to in there. Let's see. But I want to get the exciting part is actually making the moving heads work. Oh, there we go. The video is done, so it looks like the video is ready. We can go ahead and view the video. And we can see if it actually put a tune to on our tune to sign, maybe.
Dashing through the snow.
Nope.
Nope.
On a horse open
So it
sleigh.
doesn't like that model.
Jokers on the go. Laughing
But the
all
star is
way.
doing the star thing.
Bells on penguins ring. Make Riddler wanna fight. Two-Face wants to flip a coin and sing this song tonight.
So that's actually a good one to use though, because you look at this, and this is a perfect example here. So the sequence is darn near perfect, right? But it's not perfect. So now, how do you go in and fix that? I think that's the thing, right? You get a sequence, it's so close, right? But you just want one thing tweaked on it. How do you do that, Clyde?
Well, this is actually gonna be pretty interesting because we'll actually download this. Let's go back to my sequences. Let's go ahead and download this, and we want to
So there's two downloads that come up. You can download the xSqueezy, or you can download the FSEQ. I prefer the FSEQ way. You can do the xSqueezy if that's what you want. The xSqueezies are stupid. And the reason I'll say that is because you're going to go and you're going to double click on it and you're going to try to customize something and it's going to say, oh, this is read only, and you can't do anything. It's stupid.
Okay. So now what we're going to do is anytime you get anything from one of the sequence vendors out there, you're going to need to go buy the MP3. This in this case, let's see. In this case, we would go back to the product description here, and it's going to tell us, hopefully it's going to tell us where to download this MP3 at, right? Purchase music here. And we would download it here. Download. So now we've got the MP3 for the sequence. And what I'm going to do is this is kind of the customizing side of it, or the hacking side of it. So if we'll go in and we'll create a new musical sequence. I know it's in my downloads here somewhere, right here at the top. And I'm just going to do 20 frames per second, quick start. And I'm going to save the
You
sequence.
just messed up.
Huh.
Go do it again.
All right, fine, fair enough. Close sequence. I'm used to going quickly.
This is new, so that's why it's different. So
Yeah,
that's
so
how you import
import.
like a regular sequence. So go to new, go select your audio. You can do 20 or 40 frames, 100 frames. I don't think it really matters.
Right.
So
So 20 frames, and then
okay.
now we're going to have to
So-
go over to.
So stop right there where it says more options. Click, 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 clickety click. More options. Yep. Now you're going to select xLights.
And now you can see here is an FSEQ file that xLights can see. We'll
Yep.
go ahead and select it and click open. This is the download.
Correct.
And now it says conversion log done. And we'll go ahead and click
Sometimes
done.
that takes a little bit longer. Just wait until it says done. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time, depending on the size and of your sequence and stuff like that.
If this is, keep in mind, this is a very small layout, a very, very basic small layout. Okay. Now
So-
what we can do is we can render the sequence, which isn't going to take long.
Yep.
And if you come in here, and we open up the house preview, we have the MP3, we have the XSEQ file, or the XSEQ. We can play the sequence here on the layout. That's kind of funny because right at the beginning it had it right. You see that? So this is where it gets really, really interesting whenever it comes to people wanting to customize.
So the reason that that's not working, just be my guess, is because you told it was a tune to, so it's ignoring the face definitions. Probably that'd be my thoughts. So that's
Maybe.
why it's lighting up the entire singing face. That's just my guess on it, but it's good. You broke it, so go back to sequences and fix it.
So
you good?
No. So is there no timing tracks in this sequence? It didn't import them.
Correct.
Oh, the import was in the XSQZ file download. Let me go back over here.
Yeah, so you can use the XSQZ. You just have to change it to a zip file because the XSQZ is stupid. Did I say that already? That sounds like I said that already.
Oh, there's no extracting it though. Is there?
I don't know what you mean.
There's no extracting because whenever if you go into my sequences, if I remember right, you can download the XSQZ, and I don't think when because we tried this before, and we tried to import it. The import sequences.
You can't do anything with an XSQZ. They're done.
No, but here's the hack. Look what you get.
Correct.
You get the beat. You get the timing marks. You get the lyric tracks. They're in the XSQZ file.
Correct.
So now this is how you can go in, and if in my instance where you have the singing stalking the matrix, you can come in here and you can put your choro face effect on there. And you can do show outline, and you can have it reading the lyric track number 1. And so if we play it, and it's working. So here this is a perfect example of it didn't do it right, but you have a way to go in and still edit it. Now, when you imported from it, you only got the timing tracks. That's all you got. But you notice all of the effects are in there. So what does that mean? Anything that's here you can still utilize. So even though we have this matrix panel here that's actually supposed to be our tune to, if you already have yourself um, a preset effect for let's say the for the text effect, you can put it on your tune to sign here now, and there we go. I'll stretch it all the way across there. I'll put and let me get rid of all the colors there, and let's do a scroll to the left, and let's move the speed up. So there's your tune to sign there. Or in my instance here for my other little singing element, I can throw this, copy and paste this onto here, and you can see the tune to running across on there. That's a little bit big. Let me do the small one there. There we go. Tune to 100.3 FM, and that'll continue running on the sequence even though you don't have a sequence here. What you would do is you just hit save here. You'll create your sequence. Here's, it says PPD Jingle Bells, Batman Smells. We'll hit, I don't like parentheses. I'll get rid of those because I don't know, character may screw up FPP. And so what you've just done is you've just created a brand new XSEQ file. And that XSEQ file you can now update or upload into your FPP player or your Xschedule player and set it to play and output with your show. That also gives you the freedom and ability to map in effects, let's say from somebody's moving head sequence that you already have, let's say. So if you wanted to sequence, if you wanted to, if you were downloading something from EZRGB and you wanted to have your moving heads do something, maybe you have some presets that you want to throw on there. Maybe see, and these are out of order, so I didn't set up display elements, but you could come in here and we could actually import. I don't know that there's moving heads in there, but we could map in, I don't know. Let's go package sequences. It doesn't matter what sequence we grab. We'll just grab these. Doesn't matter. And what I'll do is I'll hit auto map because they're already set up with the same moving heads. But see how it mapped the effects over? Here's moving head 1, 2, 3, 4. If I were being specific about it, maybe you purchase the moving heads from PPD and you want to map them into here, you can do that yourself. And then if you click OK, now don't worry about the timing marks. The timing marks aren't important in this instant, but you can see that there are your moving head effects and there is your intensity or your dimmer, which is being controlled. And if we render that, you'll be able to see. Let's turn those off. So
now, one thing that's cool about it is all the effects that were put on there prior to you customizing anything, xLights doesn't need to render those because it's just a data layer. So it's ones and zeros. It's data is all it is. So there's no effect rendering. So your render time now went to nothing. So the only effects that it's really rendering right now when he clicks render is the singing face, the text effects, and the moving heads. That's it. Every other effect that existed in this layout no longer matters. Go ahead, Clyde.
And that's because, and that's a good point to bring up. Here's your folder. Let me take the distractions away here. Here is your folder. And what you'll notice is something called an ISEQ file. And the ISEQ file holds pretty much all of the data that you opened whenever you imported or you brought the sequence in at the very beginning using that file, new sequence, and following the steps that we did at the very beginning where I got click happy. But this ISEQ file remembers the data for the sequence, so you don't have to remember it. And so you now have an XML file, and not an XML file. You have an ISEQ as opposed to the XSQ file. You don't see any XSQ files here. Let me sort this here. You see an FSEQ, which we created when we rendered it and saved it just a couple seconds ago. But you also get this ISEQ file, and that's your main sequence file. So
now, once you render and save, Clyde, there will be an XSQ file of just your effects and that relating back to the ISEQ.
So yeah, here I just rendered it. I'll hit save. There you go. It's saved in like 0.1 seconds, and it made the FSEQ file or updated it. So here, see how it's updating it right there. 9:28 p.m. It is 9:28, 9:29 p.m. now. But that's your updated FSEQ file that you can go upload now with the moving heads that you sequenced, with your Tune 2 sign, with your customize it, and it gives you the lyrics. Like you get the lyrics out of it too. So if you want to add more, it didn't do it exactly right. But another thing too that I think is rather interesting is, let's say there's no effects here. There literally is no effects. If you wanted to have one specific prop doing something, or you wanted it to do something different, and you wanted to copy and paste something out of one of your other sequences and put it in here, you certainly can. If you put an effect on here, and what happens is it will overlay right over top of the effect. You can sequence in here, or you can enhance, or you can add things to this if you feel like it's missing something. So you do have this ability to customize. One of the other things too, notice how there's this bleed through. I want to fix the bleed through. And the way to do that would be to go up to the faces effect, and I'm going to insert a layer below. And I'm going to change this to the off effect. And so what I'm basically telling xLights is, I just said, hey, on this singing stocking, any effects that were playing underneath of it, stop playing them. I don't want to see them. Now on this Tune 2 matrix, it's trying to overlay both effects, both set of effects. We'll do the same thing there. We'll go to the Tune 2. Right click, insert a layer below. We'll copy our off effect, and we'll paste it. And there we go. And so now, oh, maybe that's not working. What's up with that? Render.
You put it on the matrix for the stocking.
Oh, I did, didn't I? That was dumb. Let me close that up.
Tune 2 sign
DMX text. The DMX reminds me of the text effect. They look the same. Insert layer below. There we go. So there we go. Now it works. It would help if I wasn't looking at the Tune 2 matrix part of it. But this is definitely helpful. There's a lot of people who really like it, but they want to have a little bit more control over it, and they want to do their own certain touches to it. You certainly can. You can certainly go in and if you need the moving heads put in there, you can map the moving heads yourself. All of the process is the same, but the idea is here's a base layout. Here's a non-fancy layout using a very simple setup. And it could be even more complex, but the more complex you have it, some of those added things like we were talking about earlier, where you could editing the sequence, the description field in xLights, and adding the different types of descriptions into here in order to let people know, to let the software know, hey, pay attention to me as if I were an arch or the Tune 2 sign or whatever. But I think another thing too that's nice is that even though this specific model may not have worked out as well, it shows perfectly that there's some workarounds and some things that you still can do, because they did open up the ability to give you the XSQZ file. So, Rob, is there anything anything else you want to bring into this?
No.
All right, that's fine. Do we want to open it up for questions here?
I have a bunch of matrices that I only want. That's right, here. So there's a couple. This happened to me, money bags. Okay. Use the I skip option in the description. Nothing shows up on them at all. Correct. So Ben asks in chat, if I have a bunch of matrices that I only want the whole house effects to apply to, but if I place the I skip option on the description, nothing happens. That's what the I skip's going to do. So anytime you type in the I : skip, it's going to not put anything on it. It's going to ignore them. What you could do, let me think a couple different ways through this. So if you only want whole house effects, I don't know if there's a whole house effect thing. That's one I'd have to ask support. But what you're going to do is do the I skip on the matrices. But then I'm wondering that if when you do the model, the group or something, I'm trying to think how you get the whole house effect across everything. A good question, Ben. That in that instance, I'd have to get back to you on that one, Ben.
No, it's a good question too, because there's probably a number of props that are only certain use case items. So it kind of makes sense to be prepared to handle them different ways, and so it's a matter of how that gets defined. So, Rob, you want to we're going to go ahead and move on to the closed off Q&A session, and if you have any questions or you want to jump in and join us, guys, join us. Go to the PPD website, click on the how to and help section, and click on the link to join the PPD Zoom room. We're going to end it here, but we do have an announcement we're going to make as far as our Guess the Sequence contest. Unfortunately, we were way too busy this year at the end of the month. I just couldn't get enough time to do the contest. So we're going to do a huge drawing. We have a grand prize, and we have 5 prizes total, but we have one grand prize that is very desirable, and 4 other prizes that are going to be $50 gift cards to numerous PPD affiliate vendors. And what we're going to do is you are going to have to do some participation. And what that means is in our PPU, Pixel Pro University Facebook group, you will need to take videos. I'm not talking about full-length videos. It would be great if you did full-length videos and upload them to YouTube. That would be great. But to get entered into the contest, we would love to see some of your PPD sequences in the flesh with your camera. Use your cell phone. Take your cell phone out there, clean off the lens. Spit shine it, whatever you got to do, and get out there. Go get yourself a cheap tripod and hook the camera up, set the camera up, and record some videos and post those videos up on the PPU Facebook. And then we're going to hashtag this with the PPD contest, PPD December contest. That's going to be the hashtag. It's a big one, but it'll make it easy for me to find all the PPD December. No, let's fix that. Let's do December 2024. December 2024. or contest. No, December 2024. That's the hashtag December 2024. And if you upload your videos to YouTube and then share them in the group, that's the best way to share them. Or you can upload them to the group itself. But we prefer it to be like on YouTube. That'd be much better. So, guys, if you have any questions, jump in the Zoom room. It's great having you. Thank you for joining us. We're going to go ahead and end the live stream now. So have a wonderful evening. Take care and goodbye for now.